Remember this day in court where it got a little wild? Check it out.
The expression on rapper Young Thug's face, whose legal name is Jeffrey Williams, echoes the confusion in the Fulton County courtroom as screams could be heard from a defendant behind closed doors. It happened during a recess Wednesday afternoon. Video shows a commotion inside as those who appear to be in the back get agitated and try to figure out what's happening.
Which is ridiculous. This should not happen in the middle of a trial.
Suricata Jimenez represents Cordarius Dorsey, one of 28 people named in a sweeping gang indictment accusing members of Young Slime Life of wreaking havoc across Atlanta. Jimenez says defendant Rodalius Ryan was taken to the back, but no one knows why.
And we could hear him screaming. And when you could hear the screams coming from the back, a lot of us were concerned. A lot of us stood up. Some defendants, some attorneys stood up and trying to figure out what's going on.
Then you hear this.
Hey, y'all. Hey.
A court official telling people to calm down. Then this video appears to show court officials handcuff two men and another before someone yells,
Not law enforcement, go ahead and clear the courtroom.
This is just another hiccup in what's expected to be an extremely long trial. The defense attorney says it's hard to find a willing jury.
But to ask somebody to step away from their life and what they care about for 6 to 9 months, I'm surprised that there's anybody saying that's not a hardship. And that is why it's taking so long.
So once allowed back in, one of the defense attorneys told the judge they believe that the prosecutors are actually behind what happened today. He called it a spectacle and embarrassment for the court. Now, the prosecutors denied having anything to do with the outburst or leading up to it. We do know officials have yet to confirm officially just what led up to that screaming and that evacuation. Of course, we'll continue.
Interessante, the 19-year-old Lil Rod, the body catcher, but it's something that popped up on my timeline on Twitter, and we'll get to that after I show y'all this. Do y'all want to see the body cam footage of that? Check it out.
Now, mind you, body cameras, it starts to record and it picks up about 20 seconds prior to actually turning it on, so that's why it was a delay in the volume.
Counsel's gonna have hands. I mean, yes. Thank you. He can stay over there. Yeah, he was getting out. Stay over there.
So they're escorting them back to the detention area, and you'll hear the deputy explain to him what the situation is.
We went back to the courtroom before. Multiple people noticed these on the ground marijuana. You're going to be straight searched. You have any on your person, you just want to go ahead and hand over right now. I can still smell it right here, right now. That's fine. I understand that. I'm having a conversation with you before we go forward. So I need you to go ahead and take your clothes off.
I said, well, I ain't almost
Ron, take your clothes off, buddy. Ron, I'm just giving you instructions. I'm going to check. I'm going to take your shoes off. Where'd you get this one?
Trying to do my shirt, I got the shirt today.
So you got a shirt today that's not wearing.
Yeah, I had to.
Go ahead and take the shirt off. Yeah, but I have no idea. I was told that, who told y'all, Lieutenant Gibson just. Lieutenant Gibson did. They just went and talked to the judge right now. He said he's taking a recess. What happened? She's on
fuck, bro.
Somebody brought him in for the attorney.
Yesterday?
I couldn't tell you when he got them shoes. So those shoes don't belong to him?
Those ain't his shoes.
Okay.
Who brought?
So now you see he has on a pair of boxers and then the polo underwear under the boxers.
Still smells like raw marijuana in here. I understand what you're saying. I understand. Ronnie, you have to take your clothes off. That's what a strip search is.
What you gonna take my clothes off?
You have to. I know you don't want to do this. I don't want to have to see you naked right now. Honestly, I don't. I don't get off on this. I don't feel good about this. But it's what has to happen because it smells like that.
What the fuck, bro? I don't got that know me, bro. Look, bro, I don't got that know me, bro. Take it off, bro. Take it off, bro. Take it off of you. Oh, I ain't need that wrong.
Just we'll get it over with, man. The quicker you do it, the quicker it'll be over. I don't see you. Just please listen to me, man to man right now. It's either I have to put you in handcuffs or take your underwear off you, which I don't want to do. I don't want to have to do that to another man. I'm trying to offer you to do this chance right now. I know you don't want to do it.
I ain't talking about lawyer, so
You can in just a second.
I ain't talking about lawyer.
You can in just a second.
I'm gonna get screw certified. You talking about me, bro? Ain't nobody right here, bro. Bro, really here, bro.
John. Stop. Stop. Take it out of the box.
Bro, come on, bro. I ain't getting that, bro. Man, bro, I ain't getting that, bro.
So what they're doing now is taking him to another cell to kind of get him further away from the courtroom.
I mean,
The courtroom, yes sir.
Stop. Or you want to do it here and just get it over with? I don't want to put you in handcuffs if we don't have to. Just get it over with. All right, come on. All right, stop. Ryan. This is all body cam.
This is the yelling that they're hearing in the courtroom.
Body cam. It's not.
Now you see there's no swinging, no kicking. They're trying to take him down to the ground. 4 points of contact. One person is on the left arm, one person is on the right arm, and then you have a person at the leg, and another person at the other leg.
Slow it down. Stop.
As you notice, no one's knee is on him. He's turned to his side so he can breathe. Now he's grabbing the underwear so they won't be able to grab take the underwear off of him. No one's on his arm.
There we go. All right. Underwear are good to go.
It's up to his hand.
That's it.
It's up to his hand.
Ryan, what the?
All right. Bro, look, I don't got that on me, bro.
All right, go outside.
I don't got that on me.
Stand him up. Stand him up. Ryan, we're going to stand you up, okay? You ready? 1, 2, 3. Come on. I can smell the weed. Yes. I bet you I can smell it. Yeah, I feel it. Hold on. Take his pants off. Take his underwear off. Just pull them down. Just get it out.
Man, all right, come on, where you got it?
Yeah, so you got it.
Hey, come on, where you got it? Come on, bro. Come on.
see the other deputy comes in. The marijuana is actually sewn into the underwear.
Sewn in.
So you're gonna see her.
Can we have his hands from
They had to cut the underwear open to get the marijuana out.
Thank you. From the first step, can you grab his hands?
My arm broke, bro. Can you please take the turn up?
Get that off.
My fucking arm, bro.
I got it. Okay. You gotta calm down, dude. It's not worth that over speed, dude.
My arm broke, bro.
And there are the 2 packages of marijuana.
What is it?
That's it down in the bottom corner.
Let y'all get some
One
evidence.
package right there, and then the other package next to it.
I don't got gloves or I can help him put his pants on. You got pants? Close that door too so we can cover him. Hold on 1 second, please, so I can cover him. Yeah, I just want to open it in case it didn't make a mess.
Now, I'm curious about something. Would you believe that's not the first time that Lil Rod made breaking news? I know we heard about him in the YSL Rico. We heard about him offing somebody. No. Check this one out. Update: the boy has returned home safely. Thanks for sharing. But previously, missing 11-year-old Redalius Ryan was last seen riding his bicycle along Cleveland Avenue around 9 p.m. Saturday. If you have any information, please contact the City of Atlanta Police Department. Missing child, Redalius Ryan. Then, look at the date. October 31st, 2015. 11-year-old Redalius Ryan, missing from Atlanta, last seen along Cleveland Ave.
Good afternoon, Mr. Stevens. I'm attorney Angela D. Williams. I represent Mr. Redalius Ryan. Okay, so on January 4th, you say that you didn't know Redalius Ryan, right? You gotta say it out loud. Did we repeat the question?
Yeah,
Okay, so on January 4th, you said that you didn't know Mr. Ryan, right?
so I ain't knowing that well.
Okay, so you never hung out with him in the neighborhood?
No,
You never called him?
no,
You never DM'd him?
no,
You don't know him personally?
no.
I have no further questions, thank you.
Alrighty.
What's Sadie Nash, man? Come on, bruh. You gonna pull up his charges or what? Gotcha. Redalius Ryan, a.k.a. Lil Rod, counts 1. Conspiracy to violate the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, OCGA 1614-4. Defendant Redalius Ryan, an associate of YSL, did pose for a photo release on social media while Ryan was in the Georgia Department of Corrections custody with the caption, "If you caught a case and stay silent, you deserve a bag when you get home," an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. Defendant Redalius Ryan, an associate of YSL, did unlawfully commit the felony offense of possession of a weapon by an inmate when, while incarcerated in the Georgia Department of Corrections, did appear in a video possessing an illegal weapon, to wit, a shank, beyond the guard lines in violation of Georgia law pursuant to OCGA 42-5-18, an overt act in furtherance of the conspiracy. Now, we haven't heard at all that YSL is a prison gang, so we haven't heard that part. So what you've seen in the actual indictment isn't actually what they're trying to do. What they're actually trying to do is say that it was the act that he did when he allegedly killed the other little dude. I can't think of his name right now. But either way that go, we had the whole entire thing play right between our noses. And let's take a look back a couple of weeks ago.
The state intentionally did not include the medical examiner. This is the case in which Mr. Ryan has been convicted of the murder of Jamari Holmes. And so it is only the state's intention to bring in 3 photos, and I have a copy of those 3 photos that I can show Ms. Abbasi through the lead detective in order to minimize that level of testimony. And so we do not plan to stipulate, but we've selected only 3 photos that we intend to.
All right, let's see what they are.
And I can bring them up to the court. For the purpose of this hearing. Yes. And for the purpose of this hearing, Your Honor, the state's gonna label them states 1 RR, states 2 RR, and states 3 RR.
And what do y'all plan to present with regard to, I mean, just kind of a general overview, the evidence that will establish that Act 79?
Generally, Your Honor, what occurred leading up to the homicide of Mr. Holmes, which was a luring of Mr. Holmes to an apartment complex that Mr. Ryan and Mr. Blaylock then, we believe, ambushed Mr. Holmes along with 2 other victims. They were in a vehicle. Mr. Holmes was shot, and then they fled. And then subsequent to that, there were Instagram postings, Facebook postings, or excuse me, social media postings regarding YSL, very close in time to the murder of Mr. Holmes, Your Honor.
All right, and how many witnesses are you going to utilize?
For that act, we have 5 witnesses.
Who are they? And what will they generally testify to?
You know, that 5 is a marked reduction from the original list of witnesses. We did not intend to retry that murder.
Well, that's good to hear.
Your Honor, 5. The witnesses for that act are Ms. Sharon Latner's, Starry Holmes, who was the mother of Mr. Holmes. Mariah.
An eyewitness?
No, she is just will be able to bring in his in-life photo.
Let's figure out a different way to do that, especially given that this is not even the trial of that case.
And speak about Mr. Holmes and who he was.
Okay. I have a relevant objection on that.
And that would be sustained.
And to talk about his involvement, who he is prior to this murder happening. He was a juvenile. I don't know if any of these other witnesses would be able to do that. Mariah Smith was someone I believe he had just met recently who helped set up the robbery that ultimately led to his death.
Okay, all right. Have you moved on to another witness now? Is Mariah Smith another witness? Or
Mariah Smith is another witness, Your Honor.
So Mariah Smith would be able to say he was a juvenile, right?
She doesn't, I don't believe she really knew Mr. Holmes.
How old was he?
He was 15 at the time of his death.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And Ms. Latner's backing up. She would, what, introduce a 911 call?
Yes.
And what's that going to say?
It was the initial reporting of the shooting. So it was at the time, the time of the shooting.
Just one call?
I believe just one call, Your Honor.
We would have no objection to the call.
Okay.
Admitted where the witness says he'd like to speak with police and police don't speak. No problem with that call.
Is that the call?
I don't think that that's the call. I think that the initial call about the shooting.
That may be a different call.
Yeah, it's a different call.
Okay. Okay. So
the witnesses are our skeleton version of what we can present to show absent, because we cannot just put in the certified to show the facts of the case. So we're trying to put in.
Well, I mean, sure. The fact that the murder wouldn't get it as an overt act that is a part of RICO. So I understand you need to do a little bit more than that.
Right. And so we're trying to, we've scaled back. We had these witnesses.
All right. I don't need to hear what it was going to be at one point in time. Maria Smith is going to say what?
She was one of the 2 young ladies who lured Mr. Holmes and his 3 friends back to the location, to the location.
All right.
Then we have one of the 2 other victims. We don't plan on calling both of them.
Okay.
So that it'd be either Mr. Uten or Mr. Mitchell.
All right.
Then we have the lead detective on the case, who was Detective Hogan. Then we have Mr. Mike Sprinkle, he further brought the additional evidence of some of the social media that came in later. And then last, sort of.
So 7, not 5.
So Wooney Lee is one of the co-defendants or co-conspirators in this case. He is coming in during this portion, but he was present during the initial trial of Mr. Ryan and posted some social media postings with rat emojis when Miss Mariah Smith initially testified in that trial. And so he's coming in that portion, but he's not actually a part of what will prove the actual act, but that's why he's included.
And Your Honor, we do need some clarification whether it's going to be Mr. Uten or Mr. Mitchell. We've been in contact with the state about going through the evidence. We've
offered for these witnesses, what does or does not need to be redacted. Mr. Wooten's interview is. Can you spell that last name?
Yes, Your Honor. It's O-O-T-E-N.
Okay. His interview is maybe about 20 minutes, half hour with some quiet time, and Mr. Mitchell's interview is several hours long. Okay. When are we going to get to this part of the trial?
Your Honor, we would believe that we would get to this portion of the trial probably early October.
Okay, so fairly soon.
Fairly soon. Yes,
All right. Can y'all? When will y'all know who it's going to be?
We should know within the next few weeks. Within 2 weeks, Your Honor.
Well, 2 weeks from now is the end of October, so the end of September. Trying to rush that along. We do want to have an opportunity to go through the state what evidence they believe will actually be admissible. Okay. Right now, we've got more than 50 pages of Instagram records from Mr. Blaylock, co-defendant, who's not testifying. More than 200 pages from Mr. Ryan. Those are obviously issues we'd rather not sit down with the court and go page by page. But if we need to, then we will.
And I believe there was some preliminary conversations, and we do intend on furthering or finishing those conversations with Ms. Abbasi and Ms. Lil.
Okay, well, that probably needs to get done before the end of next week. The state could respond to our emails. Can y'all
We can. We've also found it fruitful to communicate via phone, which we have done and will continue to do at times that are convenient for either Ms. Abbasi or Mr. Williams. That communication has not stopped. I think there were some issues, but we've done that as well.
All right. Well, try to do it in a timely manner, please. Okay, let me see the photos. And the photos would come in through the detective. Did you get copies too, or are we just going to start? Is this third one like post-incision, or is that the exit wound?
That is the entrance wound.
Entrance wound?
Yes, Your Honor.
Your Honor, one of our objections is I don't know who's going to be able to answer that question. I don't believe the lead detective is qualified to explain what type of injury you're committing. We don't believe the detective will be able to lay the foundation. Oh, I'm sorry. We don't believe the detective will be able to lay the foundation for these photos. All right.
We believe that with some conversation, he can talk about the fact that the victim was shot in his head. That is the victim, that he was it was his homicide that he was investigating. The picture, which I believe is 2RR, with just the area in which the
before it's shaved.
I believe that he could talk about where the bullet was, or that he was shot in the head. And then the last photo, I'm not sure if he'll be able to say it was an entrance wound. We'd have some further conversations with him regarding whether or not he was present during the autopsy or not, and whether or not he.
Do you think that there's any chance he was present during the autopsy?
Sometimes they are. Sometimes they are. I'm not saying that he would, but sometimes they are present during the autopsy.
Was he present at the scene before the body was removed?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe so. I believe so. But I need to ask
Okay, well, y'all.
Ms. Love. Do you know if he was present?
Your Honor, I've got, based on the police report, the officer received his phone call at 6:07 requesting assistance to the homicide. The victim had already been taken to Grady, and ambulance 571 was pronounced dead at Grady at 6:10. Okay, so if he was at the scene, he wouldn't have seen the victim at the scene, so that wouldn't be helpful with regard to these photos.
And Your Honor, we were trying to avoid the ME, so if we can have some stipulations to that, or we can have the ME come in for
Right.
purpose.
Why don't y'all get together? I'm going to hand these back for now and come up. Maybe you could come up with all sorts of stipulations.
This morning at a Southwest Atlanta apartment complex. The killer or killers still on the run this evening. Our Nick Sturdivant has more on the key evidence investigators are focusing on.
People that live at this apartment complex on Mount Zion Road in Atlanta tell us they were surprised to wake up to flashing lights and crime tape early Saturday morning. And more surprised to find out what officers found.
They canvassed the area and located a juvenile male deceased inside of a vehicle with a gunshot wound to the head.
Police say that just before 5 a.m., they got a call about shots fired here. The person they found shot dead was a 15-year-old boy. Police say he was inside of a stolen blue Dodge Charger. They think it could have been gang-related because investigators have identified the teen as a known gang member. Officers say he was wearing an ankle monitor when they found him.
At this point, we believe that there were additional people with the victim at the time of the shooting.
People that live here tell us they heard gunshots, while some say they didn't at all. They also told us that over the years, the complex they now call the Crystal Apartments has had his problems with gang activity and other crimes. And hours after the shooting, investigators spent the morning knocking on doors, trying to find
Candlelight vigil for a 15-year-old shot and killed at an apartment complex in Southwest Atlanta early Saturday morning. Ashley Johnson joins us live from Mosley Park, where family and friends are remembering him.
Faith, police say 15-year-old Jamari Holmes was a known gang member, but family and friends say this vigil shines light on the loving person they say he truly was. Loved ones clung to each other, mourning the loss of Jamari Holmes. Police say Holmes was found shot in the head inside a stolen Dodge Charger at the Mount Zion apartments. They say at the time he had on an ankle bracelet and believe his death was in connection with past criminal activity. But his mother says her son overall was a really good kid.
He was loving, he loved his brothers, loved his family, would give you the shirt off of his back. It's just senseless that my baby was taken away. He's a baby. My baby he's only been 15, 2 weeks.
And his mother tells me that her son was in the process of turning his life around, getting good grades in school. She says he leaves behind a very large family with 15 siblings.
So because he was with Damone Blaylock, what they call him, BB. So because he was with him and they allegedly committed the murder, that's what initially brought him in. What furthered him into it was literally because Lil Buddy is a goddamn crash out artist. He'd already been in trouble in the same exact jail that Young Thug is in. See, some people don't know. Young Thug is in Cobb County. He's not in Fulton County. He was by himself. So what ended up happening is last month or 2 months ago, infamous Sylvia has the video, this damn fool got into it again with somebody. Him and 2 other individuals. They're not YSL, by the way. So it actually looks good. But the reason why I say he's a damn crash out artist is simple because of this.
Minutes, we learned 3 people who are part of that Young Slime Life gang trial are now accused of stabbing an inmate. That is according to Fulton County Sheriff Pat Labatt. He says one of those men is Christian Eppinger. He's also accused of shooting an officer 6 times last February. 2 others, Rodalius Ryan and Damone Blaylock, were also accused. They're all part of that same trial as rapper Young Thug.
Now, if you go back, October 31st, 2015, the little dude was 11 years old. That's when the so-called indictment started. So let's understand something. If Young Thug is the leader of YSL and is orchestrating hits and all of this shit, why is it you can't find anywhere in the indictment or anywhere period where Rodalius Ryan has any connection to Young Thug as far as meeting him, seeing him, a follow back, a like, or anything like that on the behalf of Young Thug? Because Young Thug don't know the little nigga. He's put there, he was placed there to literally look like a bad influence on the youth. So as I look tomorrow, right? This is a little cat I sent off to commit murder. But it turns out, no, him and the little dude, him and BB actually try to rob the little dude and something happened and everything like that, allegedly. Because they're fighting the case all over again. And the reason why Lil Buddy was found because he had an ankle monitor on. He was a known gang member. Now his family say he changed his life. He started making A's and B's and all that stuff. So I'll take them at their word because I don't know no little gang, well, can't say that one. I have to do that. Mirror on the wall. Here we are again. Nah, I can't really do that one. But what I can say is I'll take the family at their word. Probably realize this shit is stupid. I just got out. I'm on ankle monitor and all this stuff. Or the ankle monitor may have helped him sway and change his mind and all this stuff. But then he got caught up over there in a stolen vehicle. But once again, I'll take the family at their word. But either way that go, that youngin was literally placed there to influence the jury to fuck over Young Thug. If you try to say anything differently, whenever you have a leader, there's supposed to be structure. And where's the structure at when it comes to these individuals? Share to keep your people aware, subscribe, turn on the bell, stay notified, and I'll catch you on the next one tomorrow.